Welcome back to Izzo Math as we continue our journey to learn a little bit about the programming language of MATLAB. I'm going to introduce a couple new functions in this video: string compare, find, NNZ, which is not a number, and we're going to use greater than, less than stuff to compare things. Let's just do it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is open up or release all of our gas prices variables that we have done from previous sessions here. I'm going to look at this data, and I want to get rid of my years vector here because I already have a years vector. I'll delete that, and now this is just full of prices. Let's change that first. We have not a number there for that first Australia price. Let's get a number in there. I don't know what it is. Let's say it's the same as that second year. We just need a number. Okay. And I want to change this to the name of the data. I'll rename it just for convenience because it's all the prices. I want to name it prices. Now I want to talk about something called string compare. So the first thing I want to do is pull out the strings from my text data over here. If we look at our text data, we see down here that we have all these strings for our countries. I don't want the year, so I'm going to skip that column, but I want Australia all the way till the end. So if I do, let me call it A equals text data, and we're going to go down to row 5, and then we're going to go from the second column to the end. And we see there, that gives me all of my no, that doesn't give me what I wanted. I did that wrong. A equals text data 5, then comma 2 to end. So that reads, go down to row 5 and then go to column 2 and give everything from column 2 into the last column. Okay, good. There we go. Now we have all of our countries there as strings. We want to do something called string compare, and I want to do it's strcmp, and I want to string compare, put the string in there, USA, and we'll compare it with A, and let's see what that does. That gives me a 1, and that means true over here in the last. And if you look here in the last column, that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. In the 10th column we have USA, and this tells me that the string compare test matched in A, which are my strings of countries. It gave me there. So let's do another one, strcmp, string compare, and let's do South Korea. Okay. Not enough. Okay, I didn't compare it with anything. And compare it with A. Okay, and so that tells me here where South Korea is 3 back from the end, 3 back from the end. The next thing I want to do is, let me go back to string compare. Hit my up arrow. There we go. I'm going to give that a name. So that's B. B equals, we have a lot going on here. Let me just clear the screen. Okay, let's say B equals string compare. Oops. B equals string compare USA, and we're going to compare that with A, and that was our list of strings for our column headers. And so we see that's the last one, and we know that's true. And it's easy to see which one that is, but what if we wanted to find it? Well, cool thing is that the MATLAB has a built-in function called find, and when you say find, it'll find which one gave the true output. One other thing I would like to do here before we go to our script is, let's do something like Italy bigger than France? Think about what that's going to do. In MATLAB, that is going to look at the vector Italy, look at the vector France, and it's going to go straight across and figure out when is the Italy vector bigger than the France vector. And that's going to tell me there. That's going to give me all of those years, well, all of the columns. If I want to find where it's true, the actual, well, let me do a couple things. Let me do NNZ, Italy bigger than France. That NNZ is not a number, or a non-zero number, I'm sorry, non-zero number. So that tells me that 15 of the 19 years, Italy's gas prices were bigger than France. And if we want to find those, we index into our years variable here. So we just say years, Italy bigger than France. And that will give me all of the years that the Italy gas prices were bigger than the France gas prices. Okay? Moving right along here, I want to go and write a script now. I've pre-written this thing, so the first thing, and what I'm going to do is figure out a way to compare gas prices for all the countries. Or first I'm going to compare give us a nice little program to compare all the gas prices with the USA. And then maybe you guys can figure out at home, how to, a more efficient method where I could compare any two countries that I wanted with a quick program. So here's going to be my program. The first thing I'm going to ask for some input. And that is going to be, I'm going to ask for the country that you want to compare with the USA. And I'm going to call it CMP USA, just for convenience. That means nothing. You can name it whatever you want to. So I'm going to tell the user to input, and which country do you want to compare with the USA. I'm going to leave a couple spaces there. That way it leaves spaces when I'm putting my answer in. And I'm going to suppress that with a semicolon. Okay. And now I'm going to get all of the country names. I'm going to do that by, I'm going to call it country names. You could call it anything you want. That means nothing. It's the other side of the equal signs. Now here is going to be text data. That's our variable text data that has all of the strings of all of our names in it. It's down the 5th row and column 2 to the end. Suppress that. And now I'm going to get the test country data. And so our test country up here, we called it CMP USA. So I'm going to say column compare equals string compare, and we're going to do CMP USA. That's the country that the user inputs with country names. That is going to give me that string of zeros and ones where the string compare USA matches the strings in country names. And then I want to find the column for that. So the next one's going to be, let's say, column index. It's going to equal to find column compare. That is, we're going to find that when the string comparison gives out the zeros and ones, it's going to match the one that matches the country that we want. Then find is going to give us the actual column, and because I need to know that column. Next, we're going to get the vector prices for the country that we're going to compare. Get the vector of prices. So that's going to be vector of prices for CMP USA. And we'll be doing that by giving it a name, and I'm going to call it country data. Out in the country past the city limit signs, well, there's a honky tonk. And then I'm going to index into our prices, because that's our variable that holds all of our prices. And we're going to index into that prices, and I'm going to take all rows of column index. That's going to give me, so the colon there gives me all the rows, and then the column index is a number. Say that column index said column 5, so that'd be like all the rows of column 5. But we'll see whatever we input. And now we have what we need to compare with the USA. So here I'm going to do a couple things. NNZ, non-zero, country data is bigger than USA. That's going to tell me how many years that whatever country you put in, whatever country the user puts in, this NNZ country data is going to tell me how many years, the number of years that country's gas prices were higher than the USA's. And I want to see that, so I'm not going to suppress it with a semicolon. And then I want to actually get the years. I want to see the actual years. Years country data is bigger than USA. And that should do it. And the next thing we're going to do is save file. Just save this, and we say, let's call it compare USA. And now let's go over and hit our run button and see if it runs. So see down here, which country do you want to compare with USA? And we have to enter it as a string. Let's say Mexico. And then we see here that 13 years of the years we looked at between 1990 and 2008, 13 of those years the Mexico prices were higher than the USA prices. And then it lists the years here, the actual years, 1991, 92, down 2000 through 2004. You see all the years there that the gas prices were actually higher. So we're at about 13 minutes. Let's do it one more time. Now you can run it from, so I can just say compare USA. And which country do you want to compare? Let's compare with Canada. We have to enter it as a string. Okay, that tells me all 19 years the Canadian gas prices were higher than the USA gas prices. Alright, see you in the next video.